Hello everyone and welcome to 404 Games Not Found. My name is Valaine and this is the Clay Soldier Civilization project by the Sneaky Bros. In this episode we have finished the Skytown. I'm going to show you around, show you what the final product looks like, do my best to answer a couple of frequently asked questions and just take you around the build process and how I did things for the islands. So let's go have a look. Wee! Right, there we go. Okay, so what's new? Let's start with what's new. This is new. This is the new double watchtower. They're not quite as grand or as imposing as the first watchtower, but they serve a similar function. They're for the clay soldiers to stand up here and watch over the oranges, the volcanoes. They can see the farm down there and the windmill. And from this one they can see the purples and the elves, and they can basically see any kind of battle that's going to be going on below them on this side, which is kind of what I wanted the purpose to be. Mostly because the observatory is on the other side, they can look out from there, and they can see from the temple, and from this watchtower they can see down onto the yellows. So yeah, the main purpose of these two towers was to give them another angle of observation, and we can have a little look at them. They've got a very similar build pattern to both the tower and the other pillars, but they're very slightly different. You can actually go inside these and climb up, and if you want to have a little look around, you can cross over the bridge. It's got the standard glass floor there, and yeah, they're just basically little defensible places that they can shoot from, they can fight on, they can jump down and do, you know, defending of their lands and stuff. We expanded the seating areas. I knocked out the door. Well, I say I knocked out the door. I filled in the door that was here and expanded upon the seating area, just to give it something a bit more of the social aspect of the white clay soldiers. They love to talk to each other, so I gave them more of a space to do that there. And it's sat opposite the new gardens feature, which is very basically just grass. I decided to knock out all the little flowers that are on this island because they kind of look a bit strange, just one tiny little block on their own. So we added some patched grass and some nice hedges, and this little pond thing, which was originally going to be the basic concept for the public baths, which are over there now. This was actually going to have a statue stood here and have the water pouring out of its hands or something. But when I tried that, it looked a bit too sort of, I can't really think of the word, but falling water in Minecraft doesn't look as good as I want it to. So I left it as a plain pool, which is basically like a sacred pond of holy water, which they just like to sort of observe and stand around and, you know, live from and stuff. It's just there as a decorative feature. Adds a nice bit of blue to the greys and the whites there. So we can shift round. We have a look around this island. There's obviously a nice statue here. Just to I like statues. The elves got some statues. I thought the white clay soldiers would appreciate some statues. And there's a couple of pillars. We can have a little look at this seating area. This seating area didn't have the room to expand that the other one did. Not properly anyway. So what we did was, instead of filling up the wall this side, we gave the castle another exit and just built another matching seating area here and added a couple of extra pillars. And the main point of that was to add more quartz to the stone-based islands. That's why the towers are made out of quartz and stuff. It's to tie in the fact that these two islands are mostly quartz with a bit of stone. These ones are mostly stone with a little bit of quartz. It's to basically make it a bit more symmetrical, tie the two building materials together, but we're going to cover that a little bit later. If we look at the observatory, it's mostly the same. I was told to leave this the same, so I just added a couple of beacons to help tie it in. And I put quartz around the perimeter of the building just to give it a nice little white outline there. I mean, it's just basically helping tie in the colours again. And yeah, added the walls around the outside. I felt like the islands, despite the clay soldiers never actually walking off the edge of the islands or having feathers when they do so, the walls add like a defensive element as well, which I thought would be quite nice. And then there's the houses down there and up there and over there as well, which we discussed previously. Uh, Now's probably a good time to go over a little bit of the building process of the buildings. I'll do this real quick. The temple is actually really simple to build. If you remember from the first episode of this series, I showed you how to build a pillar. You can do that, and you can add as many stairs as layers as you want, and gives it that nice sort of indented effect there. You can do that as many times as you want up the side of here. And the pillars are very standard quartz pillars, and you can use just a standard quartz pillar for a patterned floorway there. It's just basically a big square with stairs around the outside. It's not difficult to build. If you're looking to build something in a Greek architecture style, feel free to pop back to this video, just have a look at how I've done things. I'll give you a quick scan around. It's basically a big square, so it's not too difficult to do if you just count the blocks and make sure you've got a matching number on all sides, and you're all good to go, and you can build one of these for your very self. Let's go on to here. The tower, again, is very square. I went for quite a square theme. I mean, I know Minecraft has blocks and they are square, but if you're building Greek things, you can either go with rounded or square, and I went with square, and this is what I've come up with. The tower's similar to the temple and the pillars, it's just taller rather than wide, and has the windows, which I think add a lot more than they take away. So they originally were glass blocks, and I turned them into panes because the panes they're literally just brighter and they stand out better in this kind of thing. So be sure to be aware to use those. And if you build anything out of quartz, that goes for the pillars, the tower, the temple, the watchtowers, anything. Try and find a nice balance between quartz blocks and quartz pillars. Don't use one for everything. Try and use both. And if you want to add in some stairs like this, it helps separate quartz from each other because they're all the same color. You've only got patterns to work with, but they look like different blocks when you place them next to each other like that. So try and find a nice balance between the two. The bathhouse, very simple. It's just basically a wall on either side. You knock one out in between, add glass, and then just put out quartz pillars and quartz blocks for the roofs to help make it different. That's what I was going for. Yeah. So what else can we talk about? The islands themselves. Let's do a quick discussion about this. Wouldn't be a Clay Soldiers video if it didn't start raining, did it? So let's do a toggle downfall. Let's get rid of that rain. There it goes, thank you. Right, these islands you can't actually build out of nowhere, so all you have to do is just basically build off one of the islands. To make an island, you have to build a block up. I'll do it. I'll explain it actually while we're here. What I did was I went block, 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 all the way out here, and then up, and then over, until I got a suitable distance away, and then I just expanded on there and built like a big circle. And then you can build whatever you want on top of that. It's not as complicated as it looks. I know that's very simple Minecraft 101, but some of you might not know that. So let's move on to some frequently asked questions. Let's have a look. Right, the one I get more than anything else is why did I use stone and not just quartz for everything? These are of course, the white clay soldiers, the heaven, the angels, the people in the sky, whatever, and they would like to use quartz, wouldn't they? Yeah, a lot of you have been arguing that quartz should be the only building material. Now, there are two reasons why I didn't do that, and I'm going to explain that to you now so you guys are aware. When I started this build, I said to Zik, like, what do you want me to do? And he said, right, you can do this, 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 or this. And one of the options was remake the Skytown. So I said, okay. And he went, right, one condition, do not knock over the castle or the observatory. They have to stay as they are. I was fine with that. So they were made out of stone, and I started building out of quartz because I thought quartz would be a better material myself, as you did. But with the conditions that I had, I decided the best thing to do would be to use stone around the quartz and try and tie them together in a way where stone and quartz can work in a sort of harmony approach. So that's what we've done here. That's why the shop's made out of stone. It helps tie this island so it's not just one colour. If you use quartz for everything, despite having patterns and stuff, it still looks like just a big white block of blocks. There's nothing to help tie up which building's which, and it's hard to tell the difference between them unless they're abstract shapes. So that's why one of the reasons why we've used stone is because I had to keep these two buildings, and we had to work around that. The other reason, quartz in itself, while it looks nice, probably won't hold up to a siege quite as well as stone, like a fortified stone building would, which is why the castle was made out of stone in the first place. All their practical buildings, so the forge, the shop, and the castle and the observatory, those are the buildings that they want to protect. These are the buildings that serve them a purpose in day-to-day life. These are the things they need to survive and fulfill their defensive duties and interests of observing. and they need to be made of a stronger material, a material that shows strength and is intimidating to other clay soldiers. Some clay soldiers, like the Black Brawlers for example, they only have tents, but we up here in the Skytown, we have strong stone castles, and that's another reason why I wanted strength, and I wanted the ability to tie in the islands together with what was already here. So that's the answer to that question. If we move on from that, what shall I talk about next? Oh, the gods. Yes, the gods. I forgot about the gods. Me and Ziklag have been looking over the comments of episode 2, where I asked you to give us some names of the gods, and we're gonna make a little short list, and hopefully we're gonna pick out some names. And if your name is on the list, then congratulations, you've made it into the Clay Soldier Civilization project, and you have named one of these gods. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be going over that pretty soon. We're going to be naming those gods, and if you're lucky, you may be part of the Clay Soldiers universe. So, only a couple more things to talk about. I've actually shown you an Easter egg in this video. If you can figure out what it is, and tell me exactly what it is, I will give you the answer in a reply in a comment. So good luck with that. There is an Easter egg somewhere on these islands, and if you can find it, and I'll give you a personal reply and explain what it is and what it's for. The only other thing I've got to do now is basically I'll do a quick pan around the island so you can see what Skytown looks like from a distance. We can go out a little bit. What I want to do is I want to thank you guys. I want to thank each and every one of you that left me a comment, because it helped shape these islands into what they are today. I did appreciate everything you said, and some of you really liked it. Some of you still have things you want to change, and that's fine. I don't mind being criticised for what I've done, and this was a risky build for me. I felt a lot less confident coming into this than I did with the Elven Tree. But if you guys like it, thank you very much, because this actually took me a lot longer to do than that tree did. So yeah, again, thank you. If you want to leave me a comment down below and you want to say anything about the Skytown, please go ahead. I love hearing from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to know what you think about anything you can see here, and I'll try and read all the comments. I usually get through them all. So yeah, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you. And the last, very, 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 very last thing I'm going to need you to do, if you guys want to see me improve or change or work on any of the other civilizations, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see if I can speak to Ziklag and see if he agrees, because currently, with the Elven Tree done, Skytown finished, I don't actually have a project to work on, so I'm just kind of floating around the Clay Soldier civilization, just minding my own business. But if you guys can think of something that you want me to do, again, leave it in a comment down below. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.